Spell that, boys. There is finally football in the air. Dog Center, brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center, the official healthcare provider of the Georgia Bulldogs. And we're back, excited to bring you another edition of Dog Center. It's game week. We're
Finally.
there. We're there. All the talk can go be set aside. We're pumped about the season, boys. So let's get on with it. Let's talk about North Carolina. What have we got going on? What are we going to see this week from the Tar Heels and, of course, from the Bulldogs? So, Russ, I'm going to start with you. Get into it right down the nitty-gritty,
Yes.
the defensive side of the ball. What do we have to do defensively to slow down this fast-paced North Carolina offense?
I have no idea. I haven't seen it. No, I'm just playing. Fundamentals, it's funny to say, but fundamentals are key. Every time we bring a coach in, what does that coach always say? We're going to come out and be aggressive. You don't ever hear a new coach come in and say, we're going to play bend but don't break. I mean, really hope they don't get past us.
Yeah.
But for the first time now, it seems like several years, coming into this season thinking the defense could be a strength of the team. A lot of young guys who are explosive and exciting, guys who are coming back that have been big-time players for us. And, North Carolina's going to move the ball. North Carolina's going to score points. But what you want to do is make sure that you don't make it easy for them and then put enough pressure on where hopefully they make a mistake or two, get a pick, get a fumble, pick it up and go. I mean, at the end of the day, they've been eating egg rolls and nachos for a month. The appetizers are over. They're bringing out the steak. It's time for red meat.
It's time to get it.
It's time for these boys to strap it up and do it.
A great analogy. Dennis, what's your take? Have you seen much NC's offense last season?
Not much, no, sir. But I would go with the offensive side of the ball. What they need to do. Because we're looking at who's starting at quarterback still. What's the running back going to do? So O-line, I think O-line needs to have no missed assignments. We don't have mental errors there. Pick up the right guy. Protection. If you keep the defense out of the quarterback's face, I think it gives more time. To calm them down a little bit. Whoever's back there, and just give the receivers time to get open. So I'm looking at the O-line tomorrow or Saturday.
Saturday, just to bully that. So it's going to be one of the trenches.
It's Chizik's second year on defense there, so he's got a little.
He's had good defense in the past.
Yes.
North Carolina stunk on defense last year. Was really explosive on offense.
Yeah.
So you got to think.
He's had more time to work with.
Yeah, they're confident on offense. They feel like they're going to move the ball, score points, and they're probably saying, "Hey, defense can't be worse than it was." They gave up 600 and something yards to Baylor on the ground.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bowl game.
It's crazy. It's how they ended. So they probably got a little chip on their shoulder coming in, wanting to show that they deserve to be on the big stage. And there's always a little brother ACC versus the big brother SEC.
Of course.
And rightfully so. They're not as good as we are. It's just a fact. So they're going to come in wanting to prove something and probably fired up, ready to go. So fundamentals, playing hard, and then try to have an explosive play here or there when the opportunity presents itself is what that defense has to do.
Let's talk about Gene Chizik and his defense for a minute. So if you go back, I guess he got his prowess going with Texas, and then his great 0-11 season at Iowa State. And then he comes into Auburn, and he's got Cam Newton.
Yeah.
But I never sat there and said, "Wow, their defenses are spectacular."
Yeah.
But he is a well-respected defensive coach. So he's going to throw some wrinkles at us, and we'll see how the quarterbacks respond. Speaking of which, it's a topic that we're pretty much tired of at this point. Who's going to start? Who's starting quarterback? Give us your takes.
You, me.
Go ahead.
Me?
Go ahead.
I mean, who knows? I mean, according to the message board, it sounds like to me Lambert this week.
Yeah.
I actually saw a post that made sense for it. It said if Lambert is the guy, based on a tweet that an 18-year-old kid sent out yesterday, we now say that Lambert is the guy. Easton tweeted out earlier this week. I don't remember which day it was. But he tweeted out something about trust the process, which is okay. But I saw a post that made sense. It said Lambert should be the guy. If they're close, Lambert should be the guy. Because if Lambert comes in and does well, great. Awesome. We're glad to see this cat here. Got a good chance of winning. If he comes in and stinks it up, the pressure's off the young pup. We're already down. The other guy hadn't done great. Just go throw the ball, sling it, do what you do well. So, I guess for my money at the time, I guess Lambert's going to start, but we will see both of them play in this game.
I think so too. And I'm sure the coaches know at this point who's starting. But keeping away from North Carolina's defense as well. Chizik, maybe not having time to game plan. I know they have different tools, different aspects of their game that maybe he could bring something different to whoever he thinks playing more. So keep it under wraps till Saturday's fine.
Yeah, it is, and we're going to see both of them play. Whether
in the first half, in all likelihood.
Exactly. In the first half, both of them are going to see some PT. Let's not knock Grayson Lambert all for last season. So he comes in, he does win the starting job. He's a heady kid. He's smart.
Yeah.
He did protect the football very well, although he didn't get it downfield enough. But he had a lot of other challenges, new offensive coordinator, et cetera, for us as a team. So Grayson Lambert may come out and perform admirably for the
And hope he does. I mean, he's shown he had one of the greatest games in usually quarterback history last year. It was like 28 for 22 for 3,000 yards and 7 I mean, I don't know. But his stat line was ridiculous, I think, in the South Carolina game.
Yeah.
So he's got the ability. And, at this point, I think we're all kind of in the boat like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Just put somebody in there. Let's make this happen.
Absolutely. Pound the football, we will be totally fine. So let's
Nick
get down.
Nick Chubb.
Let's get a heavy dose of him and a heavy diet of the run game. Game predictions. So I've seen everything from, high scoring game, close spread. I saw one outlet predicted us in a blowout, which would be nice. But give us your final score. Where are you thinking?
I don't like this game.
You don't like it?
No. So I told Deke earlier, we were talking before we came on here, right now Georgia's a 4.5-point Vegas favorite, which makes me feel good because Vegas knows more than we do.
They do, especially
when it comes to who's going to win the game.
Yeah, they do.
But, this week leading up to it now, the storyline's kind of shifted to Georgia's the underdog. The big national guys, Herb Street and some others have picked North Carolina, have rationale behind it. I like that. I don't like coming in thinking we're the big dog. I don't like coming in thinking we're the favorites. We should win this because we got the freaking G on our helmet, although we should. But that's just me.
Yeah,
I like coming in.
Boise State senior year.
Yeah.
I want to say we were labeled underdogs.
We were favorites on paper, but everybody was saying it's Jared Zabransky.
That's right, same thing. Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then what happened? How did we feel
We got
coming
a new
into that
starting
game?
quarterback that year too.
DJ Shockley.
Shockley.
And how did we feel coming into that game?
No, we were excited. We were ready to go.
Then what happened?
What was the final?
I don't know. We smoked that honey.
Pretty good.
Yeah, y'all did.
Jared Zabransky does not want to come back to Athens, Georgia, because them boys were tattooing that Bronco rear
they
end.
really were.
But I like the idea. So, I obviously would never pick against Georgia in a game like this.
Right.
I hope we win. I think we have a great shot at winning. But I like the fact we're coming in with the mindset now of we got something to prove and we're the underdogs.
Yeah.
That's just a better spot to be in.
Pick a score.
Pick a score. No.
You're not even going out there.
I don't like that. I might jinx something.
Deke, oh come on, Deke, tell me a score.
I can't do it.
See?
Can't do it.
That's what happens when you get professionals here.
So I got to do it.
What do you say?
I'm actually going 35-21 Dogs.
I feel like that's a score everybody picks for every game, though. Like
Yeah, hey, that's
mid-30s to
what I
low
said.
20s. So Dogs by 2 touchdowns.
I see him by 2 touchdowns.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
do. I think North Carolina probably gets some in early, but I think we settle down and start to roll.
Yeah.
Like we
Normally,
did Clemson.
it happens a lot of times when you think this is going to be a big, high-scoring game. It goes the other way.
Exactly.
So I think low-scoring game favors us.
Absolutely.
I don't want to get into a 45-42 type deal.
No.
So
No, certainly don't, because it's not, it's not been Alabama style, and it's never really been our style.
I'm just ready to be done talking about it, baby. Let's be about it.
Let's get into a play. All right, so we got game predictions off the table. Let's go with back to the players. Who is the most underrated or not talked about player that you guys have heard is doing really well that could be surprising, that's going to contribute this year that the media's not talking about and we haven't talked about?
I'd probably go with the defensive lineman Carter.
Mikael
Carter. Yeah.
I'm hearing some things about him. Coach Rocker over there, I've seen him at practice, seen his work. He gets after him. So I think you might see that young guy step up and do some things this season.
Yeah, with that depth on D-line, he's going to be called upon. So absolutely.
And those young bucks have to play, so I like it.
Yeah.
The guy whose name's been out this week, once the kind of 2 deep got released, they released an official 2 deep depth chart, which really has like 4 people per position. But you see Tyreek McGee on there. Young cat from Peach County.
Absolutely.
Didn't get near the pub of some of these other really highly rated guys, but one anonymous source came out, I read this week, and said he's got that dog in him. And think about the times we played. We had Tim Jennings, a guy who wasn't a big guy, wasn't highly recruited, but he just had that dog in him. And when the ball was snapped, he was going to be about that action.
He's getting after it.
And, Tyreek McGee's been a guy they're talking about with that. So, you'll see him on the field some as part of that secondary, which hopefully will be a strength of the defense.
Tyreek McGee, not highly recruited player, but Bama, Auburn, they kept going after him until he just finally said no. So there's a lot in him that the coaches across the country saw. So Tyreek McGee, Mikael Carter, looking for big things for them. I think Julian Rochester, he was highly recruited, but he's not getting a lot of pub, but he's steady up there,
Yeah.
as I see him on the depth chart. Big body to take pressure off the linebackers there as well. So we're going to cut to a brief commercial break, brought to you by Athens Regional, the official healthcare provider of the Georgia Bulldogs. Welcome back. Great segment from Athens Regional. Get you fired up a little bit.
The dog walk, that's the dock walk. The dog walk was always funny to me, by the way, because you get off the bus and like the dog walk is usually 2 to 3 hours before the game. So we're trying at this point to hold our emotions down.
Yeah.
And Leroy from Columbus, like, whoa, let's go. I hated the dog walk because like, some old boy would just come up and just give you an elbow in the chest, like, you fired up, like, I'm going to be in 3 hours.
I will be, yeah. Let me
If you hit me again, I'm going to knock your teeth out.
Yeah. Note to self, don't hit
do
the
that.
players
No,
in
don't
the
hit the
dog
players
walk.
in the dog walk. They don't like that.
Good deal. All right, yeah, that's a great personal experience. Y'all gave us a little bit about Boise State, Jared Zabransky, that trouncing that they received. Talk to me, give me another personal experience from one of your other seasons. First game of the season, there's so much unknown. You don't know if you're going to be great or sorry. It's just so variable. Tell me about another season that that just sticks out in your mind.
You got one on top of your head?
I was thinking of my junior year, possibly. You know, that was the first year I think coming out, start the season. I was starting at right tackle, so there was emotions there, knowing that I was going to be coming out on the field first play. But if you go all the way back to the first season when I was a freshman, I know we got a lot of freshmen.
Yeah.
Coming out of the stadium, running out. I mean, goodness, I'm thinking, don't trip, don't fall down. All these fans. But it was such an exciting experience, just the emotions and the excitement of all the hard work that you've gone into to get to that point in your career. I know it's going to be the same emotions for them. A little bit different at the Dome, but still should be a lot of Georgia fans, a lot more than North Carolina. So
Yeah.
it'll be exciting.
And I think about, for me, a couple games. Big one was Clemson in 2003.
Oh, yeah.
It was our sophomore year, my first game ever starting, and we went to Death Valley and played those guys up there. Hottest game I've ever personally been in my life, and we smoked them. It was 30-0. Fred Gibson kind of hit the map with a big bomb from Greeny early on. Greeny was fired up and went to their place and just beat the stripes off that Tiger rear end. And that was a great day. And then I think about there's another time we played Tennessee, and Casey Clausen, game week, said I could beat Georgia one hand tied behind my back. And Pollock was my roommate at the time, and he saw that clip, and smoke started coming out. He was like, I'm about to kill this cat. And Casey Clausen had a bad day.
Yes, he did.
It was just stuff like that is things that go on, and people don't think bulletin board material is real.
Yeah.
No, people get ticked off. Put a chip on that shoulder and go. So hopefully these boys in the red and black are gonna have that little chip about something this week. You got to make something up. If they haven't done anything, just pretend they talked about your mama. Whatever you got to do to get mad, let's do it, baby.
So Clemson was they're pretty highly rated then. Kind of gives a little feel of what this game is. So maybe we'll see a 30-0 shutout.
We'll take it.
We'll take that any day. Good stuff. Outlook on the season as a whole. What does a successful season look like to you?
I mean, I think if we win 10 games, we need to be what a year.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's really hard in the SEC. It's hard to win 10 games in the SEC. Period. It's hard for a first year coach to win 10 games in the SEC too. But the other side of it is the East is still weak right now.
It is.
And we don't play Bama this year, do we?
No.
We don't
Ole
play
Miss.
Bama.
We play at
Ole Miss,
Yep.
and that's going to be a big tough game. So I mean, there's some potential roadblocks in there, but if we win 10 plus games, I mean, hats off to Kirby and them.
Yeah.
I mean, my gut tells me 9 wins for whatever reason. I'm not predicting that. I would love to win all of them and go all the way.
Yeah.
But the realistic side of you as a Georgia fan says we're going to lose 2 or 3 along the way. But if we get 10 plus wins, I think it's a great year.
Definitely.
I have to agree with the rest. I was thinking 9 games. That's kind of where I'd put it at right now. And we get more than that, awesome, great season. But 9 realistically.
So 10-2, 9-3. That's a good season. What's your keys to that? Number one key for us to be there at the end of the year.
everybody's got to play well. In my mind, well, the O-line's got to play good. Well, the quarterback needs to stay there healthy for running backs. You know, and the receivers have to step up. I mean, there's just right now there's so many unknowns for this team.
Yeah.
To where I think healthy's huge. You got to if your players get hurt, it's hard to be good in this league.
Very true.
Really hard.
Yeah.
So you need your guys to stay healthy, and then, you know, you just got to listen to what Kirby and those guys tell you to do. If you're a player, they've been there. They know what to do, and we laugh about trust the process, but trust the process. If you do what they tell you to do, Georgia's plenty talented enough. You got plenty of opportunity. Execute.
Yeah, execute. My biggest thing for successful or not is how the coaching staff gels.
Yeah.
We saw last year, adversity came about. They didn't gel well at all. This is a new coaching staff. James Coley, he's new. They're all new to each other. There's only a handful of them that have actually coached with each other.
Yeah.
So that's the chemistry there. I think trumps almost the chemistry in the locker room because it's going to set the tone and bring it down into the locker room. So that's going to show how we play well in big games and what we do with adversity.
And the word on the street is those guys like each other. So
that's good.
we ain't lost a game yet. That could change.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what the egos say when we lose a game, a lot of the experiences last year. So we got your season predictions. We're looking at 9-3, 10-2, bowl game. Where are we heading? We're going to call it early just so we can come back and reflect.
Starting in the dome, baby. I guess Chick-fil-A bowl.
Chick-fil-A bowl. That's a good bowl.
We'll take it, maybe. I mean, I'd love something better, but I wouldn't be disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Dennis?
So I just say Tampa. Let's go to Outback Bowl, I guess.
Outback
Throw that
Bowl,
one out
okay.
there.
Good stuff.
Sorry, Kirby. We want you in the big one. We want you in the playoff, and I hope you make it. You can do it, Coach.
Yeah, certainly
Coach
so.
Buddy. You can do it, Coach.
Coach.
Cut that other part.
You know, it does set up well, though, because as you said, we don't play Bama. Tough night, perceivably a night game at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Tennessee's better, but they're not deep.
They're beatable.
They're
Very,
beatable.
very beatable.
They're not good in the trenches.
Yeah.
We got them in Athens, so we could be looking at Jacksonville with possibly an undefeated record,
Yeah.
which is what I'm hoping for and aiming for. So we would get adversity. I want it late in the season. So good deal. Those are our predictions for the season and how we think we're going to respond. Now we're turning it over to Scooter Scott Brown with the Jackleg message board post of the week.
Thanks, guys. Scooter Scott Brown here. Now, this week's Jackleg message board post of the week is a little different. Instead of going on one of the message forums, every once in a while, the good Lord will just bless us with something, and blessings will rain down into our lap. Kind of like that. Jeez. Anyway, I'm not sure if it was the extra $5 I put in the offering plate, or if I had just done a good deed this week, but something just came down the pipeline to us, and it came in the form of a t-shirt. As many of you know, Georgia Tech is playing across the pond this weekend, in Dublin, Ireland, actually. They're playing Boston College, and Tech's beat writer for AJC tweeted out this photo the other day. What else? What else do you need? Sometimes it's just Thank you. It's so good. It's so good. It's empty. So, Tech fans, let this be a reminder. No matter how far you run, how far you go, across the pond to a land where they play football with their feet, you will always be in the shadow of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Thank you, Scooter. Sounds about right for the North Avenue Trade School.
Even the Irish know that Tech sucks.
I wonder if there would be as
Right,
many.
D?
Yes.
All right, just making sure.
I think there'll be more red jerseys over there than there.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, probably. Red in the stands at the Tech games. So appreciate that, Scooter. But up next, Dennis did such a wonderful job last week explaining the Big Spoon. We're going to have Mr. Russell Tanner. Your turn on the rapid fire questions with Scooter Scott Brown.
Let's do this.
So let's do it.
Scooter Scott Brown here. Now we're here with the man Russ. We're gonna do some rapid fire questions just like Dennis last week. Russ, you ready, big guy?
Don't touch me.
All right. We're gonna start it off. Full name.
Russell Thurston Tanner.
Married.
Yes.
Most embarrassing pet name that your wife calls you.
Honey Boo Boo.
Kids.
3.
How many?
3.
Have you ever asked them who is your daddy?
Every day.
Favorite play?
I don't know. Pinocchio.
Favorite play referring to football?
Pass 44. Z curl.
If you could be any Disney princess, who would you be?
Cinderella.
Nice. How much do you bench?
A lot.
How much do you bench?
More than you.
How much do you bench?
Doesn't matter.
How much can you bench?
A lot more than you.
What's the most you've ever benched?
A lot more than you.
What? Which constitutional amendment protects the rights to carry these guns?
Naren. Don't touch me.
Did you ever break the 5 flat in 40? Did you ever break the 5 flat in the 40?
In the 40? Yes.
40?
The 40? No.
Did you ever fart on the 40?
Absolutely. Sounds
Teammate
like
with the
fine
worst
play.
BO.
Huh?
Teammate with the worst BO.
I can't say it, but his last name rhymes with pain.
Over the course of your career, how many times did you pee your pants on the field? Over, under 3?
0.
How many U.S. gallons are in a bushel?
A lot.
Wrong. It's 9.309177.
Well, if 1 is average.
Gold Bond or
9.2
Boudreaux's
is a lot.
butt paste?
Boudreaux's butt paste.
Who is the U.S. Secretary of State?
Condoleezza Rice. Not anymore.
John Kerry. Have you ever given Mike a wet willy?
Not to my knowledge.
What is the likelihood that you will give Mike a wet willy in the next show?
Over under 3?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, that's it. Russ, I appreciate
Good work.
Good job, Russ.
100% accurate and authentic.
Nailed it.
Of course. Good deal. Well, that wraps up this edition of Dog Center. So next week we'll be 1-0 heading into Nicholls State. Thank you, Athens Regional, and our sponsors. Dog Center coming back.
Go Dogs.
Hey guys, what's the Gaelic translation for yellow jacket?
What's that, Scooter?
Got him!